We'll do it live. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Good morning. We're doing live. Okay, so Vatican agents running the U.S. war with Russia. So you've probably seen this guy, Keith Kellogg, on Fox News all the time. So he is an actual Roman Catholic Vatican agent. So he actually is an agent of the Vatican working inside the U.S. government, which is not unusual since it was the Roman Catholic Church and the Vatican which founded the U.S. government in around the 1790s-ish, that period of time. That's when they founded Washington, D.C. and the U.S. government. So, but the trick is they do everything through secrecy. So you don't realize it's the Roman Catholic Church running everything. You think it's, the NAACP or the Anti-Defamation League and these other groups, which are like proxy groups, or the Pentagon, which is a proxy of the Roman Catholic Church, or the CIA, which is a proxy of the Roman Catholic Church, or all these Zionists that are proxies of the Roman Catholic Church, right? Like people see Marco Rubio and they go, look, he's a Zionist. It's like, well, he's Roman Catholic. Or they see Sean Hannity, they go, oh, he's a Zionist. And it's like, well, he's a Roman Catholic. They're Roman Catholics. And they have an agenda. They have a political agenda, which is LGBT, BLM, Antifa, war with Russia. Why war with Russia? Because Russia is a sovereign nation with its own state religion that's not Roman. They're Eastern Orthodox Catholic, so they're not Roman Catholic. And this goes back to a schism that happened in 1054 AD, and the Roman Catholic Church split off with the Eastern Catholic Church, and they've been at war ever since. And so the Roman Catholic Church went west and established the United States of America as a government to serve the Roman Catholic Church. Now we're over here. We're different religions. You got Jews and you got Protestants and you got different types of Christianity. Yeah, but they're all controlled secretly. That's the whole point. They're controlled secretly by the Roman Catholic Church through all types of proxies. That's called the New World Order, set up through secret groups. So it's all done through secrecy and front groups and corporations, so that nobody knows who's in control, unless you take a direct look at it and go, okay, it's the Roman Catholic Church. So you've probably seen this guy, Keith Kellogg, and he's on the news all the time on Fox News. So let's listen to what this genocidal psychopath who wants to start a war with Russia for his bead-rubbing Pope in Rome. Let's listen to this crap.
London radio station. Here with us now. General, where are we at? Because Russia has returned its memorandum, its term sheet. They're keeping up all of their maximalist demands. And then you have Peskov saying that a meeting with the three leaders anytime soon is unlikely.
Just so let me give you a little rundown on who this Keith Kellogg guy. He's from California, and he went to a Jesuit school called Santa Clara University. So if you look up Keith Kellogg, just so you know who he is. He's literally a Roman Catholic. He's an agent of the Catholic Church. That's the thing that everybody missed, is that all these people, like, people are trying to figure out what's the motivation for these people. Like, you'll see a white guy and he wants to start a war with Russia, and everybody thinks it's the Jews all doing this. They're like, oh, he must be tricked by the Jews. No, it says right here he went to Santa Clara University. It says Santa Clara University is a private Jesuit university in Santa Clara, California, established in 1851. Santa Clara University is the oldest operating institution of higher learning in California. Now, who else went there? I think some other famous people went there that are in government, but we're not going to look them up right now. Is that where Gavin Newsom went? Let me just take a look. Gavin Newsom, Santa Clara. I think he did. I think he went to Santa Clara University. Let's take a look. Gavin Newsom, Santa Clara University. Well, Santa Clara. Oh, he graduated there in 89. So yeah. Oh, wait. Santa Clara graduate. Yeah. I believe I haven't read through the whole thing. It looks like he was there too. So that's what I'm talking about. Oh, who else? Kamala Harris. I think she went there. Kamala Harris. Let's look. Kamala Harris. Santa Clara University. I think she went there too. Santa Clara University, Roman Catholic Mass, blah, blah, blah. Joe Biden, Vice President, Kamala Harris were there visiting, I guess. Oh, so it says Kamala Harris did not attend Santa Clara University. She attended Howard University for her bachelor's degree. Howard University. I know she went to a Catholic Jesuit school, though. Howard University. Howard University, Kamala Harris. Is this one Catholic, Jesuit, whatever? So annoying. My computer's so annoying. Let's try that again. Howard University. I don't know what this. I don't know what this is. Howard University. So she went to UC Law, San Francisco, Westmont High School, and Howard University. Let's check Howard. Howard University is a historically Black university in DC. Okay. I know she went to a Jesuit thing too. Maybe she was just visiting there. Howard University. Okay. Non-sectarian. Okay. Not Howard University. Anyway, let's get off Kamala Harris. So it looks like I believe so it looks to me like Newsom went there and Keith Kellogg went there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is it there that the U.S. government and that the American states are controlled by the Roman Catholic Church, through all types of subterfuge and secrecy. All these secret cults go back to Rome. They're all run by Rome through secrecy in order to rule over you secretly. So you don't know it's the Romans. That's the whole idea. So that you don't know it's the Romans doing it. That's why they got to mix it up as much as possible so that it makes it confusing. See, the more confusing it is, the less that you're able to determine that it's the Romans. And then when you start to notice there's a conspiracy, then they start to tell you that it's Jewish, that everything's Jewish, Jew. And they'll just go on and on about the Jews, right? Because now you're starting to notice a conspiracy. So then they'll roll out the Jews and go, see, it's the Jews. The Roman Catholics do this. This is how they trick everybody. That doesn't mean that the Jewish mafia isn't doing things. See, I'm not saying they're not doing those things. Just like Black Lives Matter is burning down your city on behalf of the Roman Catholic Church. That's what I'm saying. See, if you just say, oh, well, it's just Black Lives Matter. It's not just Black Lives Matter. They're a proxy group that it's run through secrecy, right? It's not just the Jewish mafia. They're a proxy group. They're a part of the syndicate created by the Roman Catholic Church. But let's listen to Keith Kellogg, which is kind of boring. So I'm not gonna. Well, let's see what it is. I'll skip ahead so it's not too boring.
Medvedev saying that these talks aren't even.
I mean, we are talking about nuclear war with Russia, so we need to know what these Roman Catholics are putting us into.
Compromise, but meant to arrange the swift victory and complete destruction of Zelensky's government. So has any progress really been made?
Yeah, Jackie, John, thanks for having me today. We'll see. Yeah, I think it has. I think Caroline said it very clearly. Look, when you look what's happened in the last 123 days, I've made this comment earlier. There's more progress in the last 123 days than 1,230 days in the previous administration, because we've had 5 major meetings. We had Riyadh, we had Jeddah, we had Paris.
So let's skip ahead.
That the president found himself in. And again, he inherited this war. He didn't start this war.
Okay, so see how this is kind of we're getting into the bullshit now. Oh, he inherited the war. He didn't start the war. Okay, you guys are continuing the war. On behalf of who? On behalf of the Roman Catholic Church. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The war with Russia is happening for the Roman Catholic Church. It's their war. It's the Roman Catholic Church's war against Russia. And the U.S. is being used to attack Russia for the Roman Catholic Church. And the Jewish mafia is also in on it. You got the Mossad and Zelensky and the Kaganovich clan. They're all in on it, right? But it's a syndicate for the Roman Catholic Church. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Kellogg, you see this Keith Kellogg guy all over the media. This is the Roman Catholic. He is a front. He's a front man for the Roman Catholic Church masquerading as a general of the U.S. Army or military, right? That's how they do it. That's how they do it. Just like Gavin Newsom is a operative or activist for the Vatican, just like the judges all across America are activists for the Vatican, just like the Supreme Court is an activist group for the Vatican, and I'm not talking about. See, that what happens when I tell you that is you get mixed up into all the political mechanisms, right? You start thinking abortion, non-abortion. Let me explain something to you. This whole abortion stuff is run by the Vatican, and I'm talking about the pro-abortion stuff. See, all the pro-abortion stuff is run by the Vatican. Don't believe me? Ever heard of Gavin Newsom? Ever heard of Nancy Pelosi? Ever heard of Joe Biden? They're agents of the Vatican. They're implementing the abortion stuff. And then you have other agents of the Vatican that play the conservative role. But it doesn't, in other words, those two sides are meant to come together and cement everything together so that there's no separation. This is why I've been saying that I believe that the only solution is a Church of America. A Church of America that expels Roman Catholicism from America. And that this whole idea that we're going to have an open government that allows a secular government that allows all these different operatives of foreign territories to come in and set up their religious bullshit, that has to end. You need a Church of America. A Church of America. That is the solution. That is as far as, because that solves most of the problems. But let's listen to this. You can't even really listen to this Kellogg guy.
He's trying to end this war, and he's trying to do it in a reasonable fashion.
No one's trying to end the
and
war,
I think
stupid.
what happened is we had a very reasonable position come in with Ukrainians.
Notice how they always try and talk real soft with each other. I noticed that what's his face was doing this too. Jack Keane, he started doing this too, where he talks like this, where he's just a soft little man. That's what, dude. It's so infuriating. These people are so infuriating because they're destroying civilization. You can't put sodomites in charge of Western civilization and expect anything good to come out of it. And that's what the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican, is. Look, I'm having conversations with Catholics, right? They don't understand anything I'm saying because they can't process it. Because once you start talking about their things, it goes into all this mental machinery. They have no idea what you're saying, right? I'll tell you, like, I'll say something really simple, like Black Lives Matter is backed by the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican, the Pope. And they're like, it's the Jews. Okay, no, the Pope says he's doing it. Get it? Like, the Pope will say, I support Black Lives Matter. And then I will repeat to somebody, I'll say, hey, bro, the Pope says he supports Black Lives Matter. And then they'll go, they're Roman Catholic or they're brainwashed by Roman Catholics. And they'll go, no, it's the Jews. And I go, no, look, the Pope right here, he says that this is what he's saying in his words. Like the words that are coming out of the mouth of the Pope is Black Lives Matter, riots, and protests. And they'll go, no, it's the Jews. That's how brainwashed they are. That's how brainwashed they are. That's exactly how I'm not exaggerating. I'm not saying that the Jewish mafia isn't doing things, right? See, I could tell you, hey, the Jewish mafia is doing stuff. And they'll go, yeah. And I go, and let me tell you this other thing. You know, the Pope, he's backing Black Lives Matter to burn down American cities. And they go, no, it's the Jews. And I go, no, look, he says it. Look, he signed this piece. He could literally sign it. Like, Pope says, burn down U.S. cities with Black Lives Matter. Signed, the Pope. And I'll read it and go, no, it's the Jews. That's how stupid people are. That's how stupid people are. That's how stupid everybody is right now. It's ridiculous. Anyway, let's look at this thing with
Russians came in with a very maximalist position. And, now what you try to do is you try to bridge that. You try to say, okay.
See how he's trying to pretend like they're trying to just stop the Russians from taking whatever. Like, no, bro, they're trying to destroy Russia. They're trying to destroy Russia. I like Russian people. You know why? Because they're part of the overall civilization that came out of white European Christian, whatever you want to call it, civilization. They're part of it, and I don't want to kill them for some Roman bullshit, right? Just like the Romans backed BLM. Remember when BLM was burning down all these cities like Minneapolis and Portland and all across America and New York? De Blasio had that big BLM stuff, and Washington, D.C. had BLM all over the place. Right. That's the Catholic Church. That's what they think of Americans. That's what they think of you. They want to kill you with Black Lives Matter riots. And they want to kill Russians using Ukraine proxy groups and the CIA and all that bullshit. It's trash. Let's listen to some more of this idiot.
Where are the areas that we can actually work and we can actually kind of find where this will work out? And I think that's what we're trying to do right now, even in Istanbul, when you had...
See how he's mumbling?
Chief
Kind
negotiator there. Medinski is the chief Russian negotiator there, sitting together, looking at each other and saying, okay, how...
Shut the fuck up, man! You're such a fucking piece of shit, General Keith Kellogg. Fuck you. If you weren't 80 years old, I'd say that right to your face. You're too old, though. You're too old. You're too old to get that angry at. But it's ridiculous, dude. These people have ruined America, and they've ruined Europe. It's not anybody else, dude. It's not anybody else. It's the Roman Catholic Church. It's the Vatican. It's all their little bullshit. See, the Vatican established the U.S. government as what it became. This big military arm to enforce this Vatican bullshit, diversity bullshit, LGBT, BLM bullshit, Antifa bullshit. That's all the Vatican. That's why when I was watching news over the weekend with the Germans, you had the AfD, which is the German alternative for Deutschland, right? And they don't want war with Russia because they're not stupid. And then you had some National Socialist groups that were out there that are pro-German. They're like, we want a German government that cares about the German people. And guess who came out to protest them? Antifa came out to yell, fuck you, Nazi, to these people because they're backed by the Vatican. You got to understand, the Vatican's the one that wants war with Russia. The Vatican is backing the war with Russia. That's why Trump and Zelensky and Keith Starmer and Macron all went to Rome and met with Zelensky and had a big meeting there at the Vatican, because that's who's behind this. It's the Vatican. So when the Germans come out and say, we don't want war, Antifa shows up to spit at them and call them Nazis and tell them to fuck off, because they are agents of the Vatican, whether they know it or not. And they probably don't. The Vatican controls people through mind control and brainwashing and drugs and unions, international unions and mafia and all types of subterfuge and trickery and brainwashing. That's how they control these political cults. That's what I'm saying. These are all agencies of the Vatican. As far as I can tell, the thing that has to happen is a Church of America. And you're like, well, what about Germany? What about England? What about European countries? They can't be the Church of America. That's right. They can be the Church of Deutschland, and they can be the Church of England. And it can't be Roman Catholic. It has to be based on their race and about their traditions, their race and their traditions. That's how it has to be. That's the only way you're going to save what's really called white Western civilization. The Roman Catholic Church is the group that has been destroying it the whole time. Since their inception, it was the Roman Catholics. It was before they were Catholics, before they were the Roman Catholics, the Romans were attacking the Greeks, and the Romans were attacking the Germans, and the Romans were attacking the Celts. And they just keep attacking and trying to subdue everybody and subjugate everybody. And they've been doing that the whole time. And because they don't care about your race or your culture. They're seeking to destroy it. That's why all of our history has been hidden and destroyed. That's why the history of the white race, for instance, has been hidden and destroyed. And that's why all the books have been destroyed that talk about the history, and that's why none of it's known. I know a lot of it, but a lot of it's been destroyed. A lot of it's been destroyed. And the Roman Catholic Church was the group seeking to destroy it. Because when you know the true history of the white race or the European people or these other races, then it goes against all the bullshit that they claim that it's based on. They invent some bullshit, and then you're supposed to believe that, right? Like how they ruined Christianity. Christianity started with the Israelites. And in fact, going back to Genesis 1:3, which is why the Freemasons have a motto, which is order ab chao, meaning out of the chaos comes a light. Order is light. Or is light. Right. They ruined Christianity and they made it into this Roman thing to subdue people and subjugate people by telling them that they're going to go to heaven when they die. You're not going to go to heaven when you die. Well, you're supposed to, when you're saved by the light of God, you're in heaven right now. So you're there now, because it's not somewhere you go when you die. The Roman Catholics invented a bunch of bullshit, is what they did. It's not somewhere you go when you die. It's what you have when you have the truth. When you have the truth, you're in heaven because you do right. Go read Proverbs, okay? Just go read Proverbs. Just go read the whole book of Proverbs. That's Christianity. That's original Christianity is in the book of Proverbs. That's also the religion of Freemasons before they got taken over by the Jesuits and destroyed, which they are destroyed now. I wouldn't recommend necessarily joining Freemasonry now. I'm not a Freemason, but I wouldn't recommend it because I don't see that they're doing anything. In fact, I was going to call them and ask them why America is such a dark age toilet. If they're in Washington, D.C., what are they doing to fix it? They're doing nothing. They have no power. They're just subjects of Rome. So anyway, yeah. Keith Kellogg is a Jesuit agent, and this whole thing is run by the Roman Catholic Vatican. And that doesn't mean that everybody who you know is Catholic is bad. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Most of them have no idea, or they themselves are just tricked. Or they like to see. I'm not saying I'm not telling you when I say that the Roman Catholic Church and the Vatican is behind all these wars and BLM. I'm not telling you that the Catholic person you know that likes to go to their Catholic church, their beautiful Catholic church, and do their traditions, that they're the ones behind it. I'm not saying that. See, you have to not be stupid, okay? You have to stop being stupid and actually understand what I'm saying and not be an idiot. Not be an idiot. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, this guy, the Pope and the Vatican, they have a whole command channel of how they rule over everybody. That's what I'm saying. See, if you can't distinguish what I'm saying, then stop listening to me because you're too stupid to understand what I'm saying. Okay, just stop. I'm not talking to you because you can't distinguish. You can't discern. Just like when I complained about the Jewish mafia, that doesn't mean I hate every Jew. Everybody who repeats all this shit is stupid. You're an idiot if you repeat shit like that. So maybe you can understand what I'm saying. Maybe you can't. A lot of people can't. A lot of people are so brainwashed and so immersed in their brainwashing that they can't discern what the hell I'm talking about. I'll give you an example. I had this argument with this guy. I was going to invite him on my show to debate, but it's too stupid. I can't debate him. I was trying to tell him that so I told him the Vatican supports BLM to burn down cities. And he's like, I grew up down the street from the CIA and have several family members retired from there, and they're all working there. And my dad and his uncles and brothers and grandpa were all military pilots and blah, 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 blah. And 80 countries, and I'm retired Irish and German, but I'm okay. And he goes on and on about how it's the Jews. And I'm like, dude, I just told you the Vatican backs BLM. That's a fact. Hello? So let me explain this to you. If the Vatican backs BLM, then why would you be in that organization? Unless you're actively trying to overthrow the Pope and then put in your own guy, why would you join an organization that backs BLM? Why would you support that? Why would you support that? See, I don't support people that support people trying to kill me. I don't then join your church. Like your church is like, oh, I'm going to kill you. Oh, well, let me join. No, I like old traditions. Great. Why do you need the Pope in order to do your old traditions? See, why do you need the Pope? You don't. You don't. You don't. What you need to do is understand that anything that's any organization that says we're going to destroy you, we're going to kill you, is something I don't join, and I reject it, and then I force it out. It has to be forced out. You're not allowed to do that. Sorry, I'm not a pushover. I don't let people bully me. And then you think I'm going to join you? You think I'm going to join you and be like, oh well, he's just a silly old man in a dress. What does he know? He's the one forcing all the drugs and all the lockdowns. That's what he knows. He's making money off you because you're a fool. So I love your old traditions. They're great. They're wonderful. I like them. I'm not against old traditions. I'm not one of these people that go, anybody that says does this or this tradition, they're not pure Christian. I don't care. I love old traditions. I love pagan traditions. They're awesome. Keep doing them. It's fine with me. I'm saying what you can't do is arm Black Lives Matter to kill me. What you can't do is arm black communists in South Africa to kill white South Africans. See, there's certain things I just don't tolerate. You can't start a war with Russia and expect me to go along with it, because I'm going to say, fuck you, get the fuck out. Catholic, Roman Catholic. I have to identify. You're Roman Catholic. You're starting a war with Russia. And then you're lying to me about it and telling me that Chabad Lubavitch runs the world. Fuck you, man. I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot, you see? I'm not stupid. I'm not an idiot. And so I don't believe stupid things. So anyway, that's the end of the stream.